The year was 2142. Earth had changed a lot. Cities were taller, faster, and brighter. People used AI for daily life. Cars flew, robots helped in homes, and people lived longer. But even with all the progress, countries still had problems. Some argued, some fought. Unity was only a word on paper. Then, one morning, everything changed. It started with a soft humming in the sky. People looked up. A strange shimmer appeared above the clouds. At first, they thought it was a new satellite, or maybe a secret space project. But soon, the shimmer grew into a dark hole. Out of it came giant ships, black, round, and silent. They moved like shadows across the sky. People panicked. Planes were grounded. Internet signals dropped. Television screens turned to static. Every satellite around Earth stopped working. Airports closed. Power flickered. The Thalzer had arrived. No one knew their name yet. No one knew where they came from or why they were here. But their actions spoke clearly. They wanted Earth and they thought it would be easy. The ships hovered over major cities. New York, Tokyo, Johannesburg, Paris, Mumbai. Giant machines landed from the ships. Pressing into the ground, they released squads of tall, armored beings with glowing eyes. The creatures walked with purpose. Their language was cold and sharp. They scanned everything and destroyed anything that looked like a threat. They thought humans would surrender quickly. After all, many species in the galaxy had. The Thalzer had conquered dozens of planets before. To them, Earth was just another name on a list, another easy prize. But they didn't understand humans. In Sao Paulo, a young woman named Adriana Cruz saw the ships land near her home. She had grown up in the city's rough parts, learning how to survive. When the aliens came, she didn't run. She grabbed her old drone, her father's welding torch, and ran toward the trouble. She wasn't alone. All around the city, people were doing the same. Mechanics, engineers, retired soldiers, farmers, students. They were scared but not helpless. In Alaska, a man named Dr. Malcolm Rourke, a former space engineer, saw the invasion from his observatory. He was one of the few who still studied the stars with old-fashioned tools. When satellites went offline, he used his radio equipment to listen. He picked up strange alien signals and cracked part of their code in ours. He smiled. If they can send a message, he whispered, we can answer it. Far above Earth, hidden among debris, was a forgotten space station, ISS Aegis. It had once been used for science, but was now abandoned until Lt. Sienna Patel, a retired pilot, powered it up again. She had stayed behind to watch Earth from above. When she saw the alien ships, she knew her job wasn't finished. She sent a message to Earth, Aegis is still here, and I have a clear shot. Round the globe, similar stories began. People found courage. Soldiers formed new teams. Scientists built makeshift weapons. Hackers started decoding alien tech. Children helped carry supplies. Elders gave old war advice. In one city, a group of teenagers used toy drones and fireworks to distract an alien patrol. In another, a farmer turned his tractor into a blockade. Across mountains, deserts, and oceans, humanity began to fight not with hate, but with heart. The Thalzer noticed their first wave was meant to bring fear, but instead, it brought something else. Unity. For the first time in years, countries began speaking to each other. Old enemies paused their fights. Borders became bridges. Messages flew across secret radio channels. People shared ideas, tools, and plans. The aliens had come with power, expecting silence. But Earth answered with sparks of resistance. Adriana, Rourke, and Lt. Patel had never met, but their names began to spread. They became symbols not of war, but of hope. People began to believe, if we can stand together, maybe we can survive. The sky that had opened like a wound became a challenge. Earth had been chosen as just another invasion, but it would not be an easy one. As night fell, lights blinked across every continent, not from alien ships, but from humans preparing, building, and uniting. The stars above had sent a warning. Earth was sending one back. The world had changed in just a few days. The skies were still filled with Falzer ships. Their machines still walked the streets. But something had shifted. The aliens expected fear. What they saw instead was something else. Resistance. In Sao Paulo, Adriana Cruz had become a leader. She and her team used old construction gear, welding tools, and drones to track and confuse alien patrols. Her group was small, only 12 people, but they were smart and fast. They never attacked directly. They used the city's rooftops, alleys, and underground tunnels to move unseen. Adriana studied the alien patterns. The Falzer moved like machines, strong, but slow. They didn't expect surprise, so one night, her team set a trap. They placed empty oil barrels along a street and added speakers playing loud engine noises. When the patrol arrived, thinking it was a large vehicle, they were surrounded by mirrors and smoke. The aliens fired in the wrong direction. Then Adriana's team used homemade flash bombs to escape. It wasn't a big victory, but it gave the people hope. News of it spread through hidden radio stations. A voice began repeating, "They are not unbeatable." Far away in Alaska, Dr. Malcolm Rourke worked in silence. His cabin was filled with tools, parts, and alien tech he had collected from a crashed drone. He stayed up for hours, listening to strange sounds, drawing circuits, writing notes. His beard had grown long. He forgot to eat sometimes. But he was close to something important. Then, one morning, he did it. He unlocked a part of the Falzer-esque communication system. It was like opening a window into their world. He could hear short messages, commands, reports, warnings, more. Importantly, he could send messages. He quickly built a signal jammer. It was small, about the size of a backpack. When turned on, it could block the alien signal in a 5-kilometer area. He tested it near a local town. A group of aliens, confused and cut off from their network, froze. The townspeople used that time to escape. Dr. Rourke shared the design online through hidden forums. Engineers and students from around the world downloaded the plans soon. Jammers started appearing in cities everywhere. The aliens began to lose control. Above the Earth, LT, Sienna Patel watched from the ISS Aegis. Her space station had no weapons at first. It was made for science. But Patel had served in Earth's defense fleet long ago. She remembered every trick. Using leftover cargo, she turned the station's docking ring into a rail launcher. With the help of the station's AI, she loaded it with broken satellites and space junk. The first test shot hit a small alien scout ship. It didn't destroy it, but it pushed it off course and made it crash into the ocean. It was a message, even in space. Earth will fight back. Sienna sent a broadcast to Earth. Her calm voice echoed across resistance radios. "You are not alone. I see everything from up here. They came with power. But we have purpose. Keep fighting. The sky is still ours." That message lit a fire in people's hearts. In Europe, small villages built watchtowers again. In Asia, trains were used to transport hidden supplies at night. In Africa, solar farms were turned into energy traps that could shock enemy machines. In the oceans, fishermen used their sonar skills to detect underwater drones. Everywhere, people worked together. They shared food. They taught each other skills. Old and young stood side by side. The world was no longer waiting to be saved. It was saving itself. The Falzer commanders noticed the change. Their scouts reported more ambushes. Their communication was failing. Their machines were being hacked. They sent a message back to their home system. Earth is not falling. Resistance is spreading. Humans are adapting. The aliens held meetings in their dark chambers, their glowing eyes blinking faster. They didn't understand. Why were humans not giving up? Why were they fighting together? They did not know the human heart. Back in Sao Paulo, Adriana received a small, strange package. It was a signal jammer, just like Rourke's design. A note was inside. "Keep moving. Keep leading. You are not alone." She smiled. Her team was no longer just a group of locals. It was part of something bigger, something global. The fire had started small, but now it was spreading like a storm. Earth was not just surviving. It was learning, rising, and pushing back. From the ashes of fear came something strong or hope.
800 words. The world was burning, but not with fear. It burned with fight. The Thouser had come expecting silence. Instead, they were now surrounded by the sound of radio chatter, machine tools, drone wings, and resistance fighters yelling directions from rooftops. Earth was not quiet anymore. They had learned one thing too late. Humans don't give up. In Snow Paulo, Adriana Cruz had become a symbol of bravery. Her face, once unknown, was now drawn on walls and shared across secret networks. Children whispered, her name like a hero. Adults followed her lead. Her group had grown. Engineers joined. Teachers brought maps. Mechanics added their tools. They created a full plan to take back their city block by block. One day, her team spotted a group of Thouser machines setting up a new energy tower. The aliens used these towers to power their equipment and control local airspace. The resistance couldn't let that happen. Adriana waited until night. She led her team through underground tunnels. They placed old batteries and scrap metal near the tower's base, and they used hacked drones to cause a distraction on the far side. When the aliens turned to respond, Adriana's team set off a strong electric surge. The tower didn't explode, it collapsed, shutting down all power in the area. It was a victory. Small, but powerful. The people nearby cheered. And in every cheer, there was new courage. In Alaska, Dr. Malcolm Rourke was no longer alone. Other scientists and technicians had joined him. They came by snowmobiles, on foot, and even by boat. Together, they formed a secret lab deep in the mountains. They called it the Nest. Inside the Nest, they worked around the clock. Rourke led them in building new tech using alien parts devices that jammed signals, tracked alien movement, and even copied small pieces of Thouser code. Then, one day, a broken alien drone arrived at the lab. It had been captured by a resistance group in Canada. Rourke studied it carefully, then made an amazing discovery. This drone, he said, is not only a machine. It learns from every mission. It gave him an idea. He rewired the drone and uploaded Earth's resistance data into it. Now the drone thought like a human, fast, creative, and unpredictable. It became the first hybrid scout, part alien tech, part human programming. They named it Torch. Torch flew silently over forests and hills, collecting data and helping resistance fighters stay one step ahead. It became Rourke's eyes in the field. Meanwhile, in space, LT Sienna Patel watched the Earth from the ISEGS. Her station floated silently among the stars. Almost forgotten, but she was not done yet. With the help of Earth-based hackers, she tapped into one of the alien satellites. From that moment, she could listen to Thouser fleet communications. She learned their next move. They were planning to send reinforcements. A second wave of ships was already on the way. They would arrive in 20 days. Patel sent an urgent message to Earth. They're bringing more. We must move faster. The time to push is now, before it's too late. The resistance leaders around the world agreed. They had 20 days to weaken the Thouser as much as possible. A global message was shared, using simple words. This is our chance. Together, we rise. Together, we strike. What followed was something the aliens never expected. In India, farmers used their harvest trucks to block alien roads. In Germany, train workers turned old engines into battering rams. In Nigeria, students flew hacked drones over alien towers to drop electric nets. In Japan, elderly martial artists trained young people in quiet streets. Every village, every city, every forest became part of the battlefield. But not in anger and unity. Even the skies joined in. Sienna Patel, using a hidden thruster, moved the ISEGS into position. With a metal rod loaded into her rail system, she targeted an alien frigate near low orbit. The rod launched at high speed and struck the ship's hull, leaving a deep scar. It didn't destroy the ship, but it forced the aliens to retreat. Repairs our Earth was pushing them back. The Thouser were confused. Their computers had never predicted this much resistance. Their war models had no answer for human stubbornness. They began to ask questions. One commander even said in a report, "These humans were not like the others." No, they weren't. Humans didn't just survive. They adapted. They shared knowledge. They helped strangers. They made jokes in the middle of danger. They kept fighting, even when tired, even when scared. In every part of the world, something old and deep had awakened. A voice inside every human said the same thing. This is our home, and we will protect it.
800-word days grew shorter, but the fight grew stronger. Earth was no longer a planet under attack. It was a planet standing tall, a storm gathering power. Across the world, people prepared. Secret messages flowed between cities and villages. Weapons were built from scrap metal and old technology. Plans were drawn, tested, and shared. The enemy was coming back, but Earth was ready. In the Andes Mountains, high above the clouds, Adriana Cruz and her team gathered. They had been tracking the alien command center for weeks. It was hidden inside an old mining facility, protected by machines and energy shields. Adriana knew this was their chance to strike a serious blow. Her team moved quietly through narrow tunnels. They avoided patrols and sensors. At night, they communicated by light signals and hand signs. When they reached the command center, they found it heavily guarded but not impossible to reach. Using their knowledge of the tunnels, they set small charges near the shield generators. The explosions were loud, but quick. The shields flickered, then died. The alien guards rushed out, but the resistance was ready. Using EMP grenades and hacked drones, they overwhelmed the enemy. They captured the command center's control room. Adriana, send a message to other resistance groups. The center is ours. We cut their communication. Now, they are blind. Far away, in a hidden mountain lab, Dr. Malcolm Rourke worked with his team to finish their most important creation yet. The first hybrid ship. This ship was different from any other. It combined human technology with alien parts, making it fast, strong, and smart. The ship's AI was built using data from Torch, the hybrid drone. It could think, learn, and adapt in real time. When Rourke tested the ship, it moved like lightning. It could outfly alien fighters and avoid their weapons. He called it the Phoenix. With the Phoenix, the Resistance had hope for space. Earth was no longer just fighting on the ground, it was fighting in the stars. Above Earth, Sienna Patel prepared for her most dangerous mission. The ISS Aegis was still a lonely outpost, but now it was Earth's spear in space. Patel knew the second wave of alien reinforcements was coming fast. If she didn't stop them, the whole planet could fall. She programmed the station's rail launcher to fire in rapid succession. Instead of one big shot, she planned to fire many smaller projectiles, old satellites, metal scraps, and parts from broken ships. Her fingers moved quickly over the controls. The station hummed as it powered up. Then came the moment. The first shots flew through space like shooting stars. They hit 3 alien capital ships, leaving big holes in their hulls. One ship spun out of control and drifted toward the moon. The other ships were damaged but not destroyed. Patel's ship had only moments to escape before the alien fleet fired. Back. She moved ISS Aegis behind a cloud of space debris and launched an emergency pod to Earth. The pod raced toward the planet's surface, carrying her message of hope on Earth. People watched the sky with new courage. The alien second wave was coming, but Earth had changed. Every city had its defenders. Every village had its watchers. Every child knew that this fight was for their future. From New York to Nairobi, from Moscow to Melbourne, people stood ready. Adriana's team joined forces with other resistance cells. They used hacked Thouser weapons, repurposed machines, and homemade traps to slow the enemy. The Phoenix soared over battlefields, providing quick strikes and scouting ahead. It showed humans that space was not lost. The Earth itself seemed alive. Storms rumbled with the roar of engines below. The mountains echoed with the march of resistance fighters. In the quiet moments, when the battle paused, people spoke with one voice: we will not fall. We will not hide. We are Earth's children and we fight like it. The Thouser commanders realized their mistake. They had expected easy conquest. Instead, they faced a force born from the soil, water, and air of a world united, a force that would not stop. The Earthburn storm was here. The sky was full of fire. alien ships covered the stars. The second Thouser fleet had arrived. But Earth did not break. It stood taller than ever. Cities no longer feared the dark ships above them. Instead, lights blinked in secret codes, resistance. Bases shone like stars on the ground. People moved with purpose, not panic. They were no longer just survivors, they were fighters. In the Andes, Adriana Cruz stood at the edge of a cliff, watching the sky turn red from the glow of the alien engines. Behind her, hundreds of resistance fighters prepared. They had one mission now: take out the alien warp gate. The warp gate was the doorway through which the aliens sent reinforcements. It floated high in Earth's orbit, glowing like a spinning wheel of light, as long as it stayed open. More enemies could come. It had to be destroyed. Far away, at the mountain lab, Dr. Malcolm Rourke and his team made the final adjustments to the Phoenix, their human-alien hybrid ship. The ship now had one special feature: a fusion core that could overload and destroy large structures. The plan was simple but dangerous. The Phoenix would fly into space. It would pass the alien ships, reach the warp gate, and place the fusion core at its center. Then it would escape just in time. Lt. Sienna Patel, who had returned to Earth in her escape pod, stood beside Rourke. "I'll fly it," she said. Rourke looked at her. "You sure?" She nodded. "The sky's my home. Let's finish this." That night, as the world watched, the Phoenix rose into the sky. Its engines roared like thunder. Children cheered. Elders prayed. Fighters held their breath. Patel flew straight into the heart of the storm. Alien ships tried to stop her. They chased, fired, and blocked her path. But the Phoenix moved like a bird of fire, quick, graceful, and bold. On Earth, Adriana's team launched distraction attacks. Resistance fighters around the globe hit alien bases to draw attention away from Patel's mission. The people of Earth moved like one giant machine. Every hand, every mind, every heart worked together. In orbit, the Phoenix dodged a final missile, then reached the warp gate. Patel locked the fusion core in place. "Fusion core armed," she said calmly, returning to Earth. But just then, a blast hit the ship's wing. Flames sparked. Systems failed. The ship began spinning. Back on Earth, Rourke's voice crackled. Through the radio, "Sienna, eject, now." Patel's voice came through, calm and proud. "Tell Earth, we never gave up." A small escape pod launched from the Phoenix just before the explosion. Boom. The sky lit up. A giant flash of white and blue filled the night. The warp gate shattered into pieces. Across the world, people stared at the sky. Then, slowly, they began to smile. They hugged. They cried. They clapped. The gate was gone. Without the warp gate, the Thouser reinforcements were trapped. The Earth resistance surrounded them on all sides. Their ships were damaged. Their control systems were broken. Their commanders were confused and divided. Then something happened that had never happened before in Thouser history. They surrendered. Ships landed. Weapons dropped. The tall aliens stood still as human leaders approached, not to punish, but to end the war. The war was over. Adriana, Rourke, and Patel became names remembered in every home, not as heroes of violence, but as symbols of hope, courage, and unity. In the days that followed, Earth healed, cities were rebuilt, forests grew green again, families returned to their homes. But more than that, the people remembered something. They had forgotten. They were stronger together. Humanity had faced a great storm, and they had not only survived, they had grown. A message was sent from Earth into space. It carried no threat, no anger, just a truth written in many languages. We are the people of Earth. We do not seek war. But if war comes, we will stand, we will fight, and we will rise. This planet is not just soil and water. It is home.